What's up, world? Welcome back to Dog Talk. I'm your host, Sporty Black. And today, instead of talking about my Georgia Bulldogs, I'm going to talk about the quarterback situation at Clemson as it continues to unfold. Now, a few days ago, I did a video talking about this Clemson situation after it was announced that Trevor Lawrence would be the starter and Kelly Bryant felt like it was a slap in the face and he decided to transfer. So you fast forward to the Syracuse game, right? Trevor Lawrence's first career start, he gets hurt in the second quarter. And like I told him on my video, Clemson would be one play away from their third string quarterback. And if they was playing a major big time opponent, they would lose the game. Fortunately for them, they wasn't playing a big time opponent. They were playing Syracuse, a decent conference opponent. But nevertheless, Syracuse gave them all the hell they wanted. Syracuse was really trying to upset them. But luckily for Clemson, the third string quarterback, he got the job done. And thanks to the defense and the offensive line, and particularly the running game and Etienne, they, basically did enough, made enough plays to get the victory done. And that was a great thing. But after the game, Dabo Sweeney, the coach of Clemson, basically was saying that he would be open to Kelly Bryant, extending an invitation for Kelly Bryant to come back to the team if that was something that, he would consider. They say they would welcome him back because they see it doesn't take a rocket scientist to see that Clemson is a better football team with Kelly Bryant on the roster, whether that's first string or whether that's second string. So it's on him whether or not he chooses to come back to Clemson. But it's a lot of things, pros and cons for both ways, whether he continues to transfer or he wants to come back to the team. Now, if he comes back to the team, I'm pretty sure the coaches will figure out a way to implement his skill set to help this offense. And I feel like his skill set can help the offense, whether he's first string or second string. So let's say they bring him back and he's second string. Okay, cool. Trevor Lawrence the first stringer. But when you do certain run RPO stuff, especially in the running game, Kelly Bryant definitely can help the team in that aspect. He can put pressure on the defense because he can beat them with his legs. So he can be definitely a viable option in the running game. But he passes the ball good enough to also open it up with the play action stuff. You know what I mean? Because if you get too comfortable thinking he go run every time he comes into the game, and then you commit to stop that run, he can fake it and throw it over the top because he's a capable passer. So that puts pressure on the defense having two quarterback with two different kind of skill set that can both move the ball up and down the field. So definitely they would help him out for that aspect of it. But definitely it was just from a depth standpoint, it would be a big boost for Clemson because, God forbid Trevor Lawrence goes out in an ACC championship type of game or a playoff game, and they gotta depend on the third stringer or the backup quarterback who was basically a redshirt freshman who was a third stringer when Kelly Bryant was there. So if Trevor Lawrence goes out, you can't just think this third string guy is just gonna get the job done against an Ohio State or Alabama or what have you, one of those type of teams in a playoff situation. So you would rather have somebody like Kelly Bryant as the backup, somebody that you done, been there, done that. You know what I mean? Done won big games for you. He won't be stage fright or nothing like that. So he would definitely be a asset for them. And what Kelly Bryant needs to look at from a individual standpoint when he look in the mirror and he decides what he wants to do, he got to think about it like this: the fact that he was on that team that won the national championship. He waited his turn, then he took a team to the college football playoffs. He won an ACC championship, right? So if he comes back, whether they win the championship this year or not, he will always be, part of, the legacy of Clemson football, the community of Clemson football, because it's not a guarantee that Kelly Bryant is gonna have an NFL future. You know, some people think he's good enough to play NFL ball, maybe as a backup or something. Some people don't think he got enough talent to be an NFL quarterback. This remains to be seen. But whether he do or he don't, you know, if he come back to Clemson, he can always be a part of this great tradition and great fraternity of football players that play for Clemson. You know what I mean? So that can help him moving forward in life because it's going to grant opportunities for him that other people would not have gotten because they're not a part of that community. But let's say he transfers and he goes to, let's say, another school. Let's say he go to Auburn or Wake Forest, or, you know, wherever he think he can go and play. He goes there, he plays. Whatever team he go to, they do pretty good, and he has some decent stats. And then let's say he goes to the NFL, you know, but let's say after a couple of years, he's not in the NFL no more. So looking back on it, you know, you don't got that bond and that relationship, you know what I mean, and that membership, lifelong membership with the Tigers, with the Clemson fraternity, right? So now this team that you went to, this Wake Forest, for instance, are they going to embrace you like that for just 1 year football, you know? So, you know, it's just things like that he got to think about. Because I think when he announced that he's going to transfer, I think a lot of that had to do with how he was feeling at the time. I think his feelings were hurt. I think it was an emotional decision. I don't think it was a well thought out, calculated decision that was really discussed between him and his family and everybody involved with it. You know, I think it was just, you know, an irrational decision, right? So I think he need to think about everything now after seeing how his teammates struggle against Syracuse, you know. So he got to look at them guys as his brothers. And if he look at them guys as his brothers and see that, man, my brothers really need me, you know, and can swallow his pride and realize that if he do come back to Clemson, NFL scouts, they're going to look at that. The fact that, you know, he decided to come back and help his teammates. You know what I'm saying? To some owners and certain scouts, things like that matters to them about the character of a player, whether or not they want him a part of their organization. They could bring him in just to be a backup. You know what I'm saying? Because there's a lot of NFL teams that need viable backups. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you can't automatically assume that you not starting is going to ultimately decide whether or not you go to the NFL. You take a guy like Matt Castle. He was a backup his entire career at USC, and he still got drafted to the NFL by the New England Patriots. You feel what I'm saying? So the scouts, they look at everything, man. They look at everything when judging whether or not to draft a player, you know. So he got to think about all that. So he need people in his corner, you know, being optimistic about everything involved with this decision, whether or not he should transfer or whether or not he should come back to the team. So for you guys out there, I need for you to let me know your opinion, especially you Clemson fans. Let me know, how do y'all feel about the whole quarterback situation? Do you think Kelly Bryant should come back? And if he does come back, will y'all welcome him with open arms? Or do you guys done just basically moved on from Kelly Bryant, do not want him to come back? Y'all just let me know how y'all feel about the entire situation. I just want to hear the opinions, right? Also, for the guys like me who are not Clemson fans, so we looking at it from an unbiased lens. For you guys like me, y'all let me know what y'all think about the situation. Do you think he should come back to the team, or do you think he should say, forget the team, it's all about me, and continue to go forward with his transfer and play somewhere else next year to, you know, continue to try to build his NFL stock. So y'all just let me know what y'all think. Either way, man. Sporty Black. This is Dog Talk Podcast. I usually talk exclusively Georgia football, but you know, you gotta switch it up here and there. If you new, make sure you hit that sub button. I'm trying to get to 10K subscribers, so y'all help me out with that. But that's about all I got for now, man. So y'all enjoy the rest of y'all day, man. I'm out.